Let's learn about how Mapstruct handles the exceptions from custom mappings. When we have used the custom methods to map the target property, and if the custom method throws any exception, either it could be runtime or the checked exception, in such cases, Mapstruct fails to map the property. So, developer is responsible for handling all scenarios inside the custom method, including null checks. Let's see how Mapstruct generates the code when the checked exceptions are mentioned as part of the method signature. Let's check the current implementation. To save the time, I have written the test cases and the mapper as well. So let's see the current implementation. So I have restructured the %, where I have added a before method, so which will be called for each and every test. Mapper object has been created here using the getMapper, and the source object has been created, which is completely empty. And in the before, I set a couple of the properties on the source object, and I added assertions for the source and the mapper. As part of today's learning, we will be seeing how Mapstruct handles the exception by default and how we can get the control over the exception handling. So let's see the mapper implementation. In the mapper, there is no changes. All the property has been defined, and particularly for the age property, I am calling custom method mapAge, which is annotated with named annotation, yet age operations. In the age operations, as part of the method signature, we are throwing two exceptions. One is restricted age and illegal argument exception. As this is a simulation, so I am throwing directly illegal argument exception. This is for testing purpose. In the mapper, only two DTO where the new object would be created, there is no exception throwing in the method signature. In case of the update DTO, here I have mentioned throws illegal argument exception, which means I am saying that update DTO can throw illegal argument exception, whereas to do doesn't throw any exceptions. Let's check the implementation. For to DTO, the exceptions, both restricted age exception and illegal argument exception, has been caught and rethrown as a runtime exception. This is the default behavior of Mapstruct. Whereas update DTO, where we have mentioned illegal argument exception can be thrown, so only restricted age exception has been caught and rethrown as a runtime exception. So this is how we get the control of exception handling instead of taking as a runtime exception. If we mention the throws expression with exceptions, then the developer would be anticipating the exceptions and handling the exceptions in a proper way. So let's run the test case. In the test case where 2D2 is called, it's expecting runtime exception, so which is a default exception. In this case, restricted age exception and illegal argument exception both will be caught and rethrown as a runtime exception. So that's where I'm expecting runtime exception. In case of the custom exception handling, I'm expecting illegal argument exception, because in update DTO only restricted age exception has been caught and rethrown as runtime exception, but illegal argument exception is thrown as is. And if we check the age operations, here we are throwing illegal argument exception. Mapstruct will not catch the exception of illegal argument exception. So as part of the method signature, we mentioned as it throws illegal argument exception. So the Mapstruct ignores the illegal argument exception and it will be caught at callee, where the mapper.update has been called. Here we are responsible for handling the exception. So in this case, I'm expecting illegal argument exception. Let's run the test case and see how it works. I'm running the test case now. And if you see it, the test case, both default and custom, successfully executed. So this is how we handle the exceptions at Mapstruct, by updating the signature with throws clause. Thank you.